All right, so I'm recording now. So, like I said, I updated the start here tab. So when someone first starts, they're gonna come in, get the introduction, join the community, blah blah blah, go through each step. Um, so they'll understand the difference. So we have the trade TE automation setup. And if you click on it, it's a short video about 6 minutes long on how to set it up and what pairs I recommend. And I understand that some people can't upload the presets because we haven't uploaded it yet. So when you're watching a 6 minute video, if you happen to watch this later to set it up, just copy and paste these settings. And that's our recommended settings. Now, do I recommend you do the same settings I do? No, because I feel like this week you should be demoing. So you should test different demo styles. And to answer someone's question, I'll add the download trend entry information tonight for you, so you can put on your VPS if you want to throw on a VPS. And if you click this video right here, this is a 13-minute video going over everything you need to know about trend entry. So we're going to go over it tonight, but so you have everything you want to know. I got it all in a 13-minute video, and I have what each setting means, so you don't have to worry about if there's a setting that you don't understand, you just go right here and go look at it. Now, I want everyone to also participate in this. And so if you go to FX, so I'm gonna write it in the group. But if you go to fxsocialcircle.com, I want to build this community up where you guys can, talk to each other, help each other. And as you're using the trend, as you're doing different settings with the TE automation, the trend entry automation, you can y'all guys can talk about it. So for example, someone posted something here today. He said, "Hey everyone, I'm setting up the trend entry bottom demo. I'm going to run on the 1 minute on 67 pairs, running 1% risk." See, dope. So people can share what they're doing. And people can share their different testimonies for different things they've done. And so, eventually I want everyone talking on discussing charts, discussing signals that we call. So we're gonna see how it turns out. Hopefully, you guys participate. Just be respectful. Anyone can join it too. It's for non-paid members and paid members. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty dope for us to be able to do, because I think it'd be better when it's called FX Social. So I feel like we should have a social environment if it's called FX Social. So let's kind of talk about the automation now. So for those who don't know, the heck is going on with my trading view? One second. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So, for those who don't know, this is one of the indicators that you get. Who's been using this indicator, the trend entry indicator? Has it been helping you for those who've been using it? I can never tell who's using it because, I don't know. I don't know what people are doing in their free time. Oh, you use it though. So I think it's a really good indicator. I think everyone has their own use for it, obviously, but it's not one of those indicators where it's calling a million buys and sells. It tells you, it gives you good buys and sells, and you typically it's some profit 90% of the time, right? So the automation is using this strategy somewhat, not completely, but somewhat, for you to trade. So, call the sell, boom, caught the buy, shot up, caught the sell, shot down, sell, shot down. I guarantee you there's a buy somewhere down here. Lord have mercy. If you caught this buy and you just let it ride. Oh man, this thing crazy, right? But this tool, there's a lot of different features for it, but this is the foundation of the indicator. Is the indicator perfect? No, we cannot. It's not going to win 100% of the time. Heck, it can even have a bad weekend or a bad month. I haven't seen that yet, but it's still relatively new. But I would say overall, the reason that the indicator is so powerful is for a few reasons. So I'm going to kind of discuss that. So number one, let's talk about why indicator is powerful, and then we're gonna go over the settings and everything. One, let's go over the elephant in the room. It's not a recovery bot. Now, personally, I built recovery bot, so I can't really talk too much crap. But I wanted to spend time creating a bot that didn't rely on having to recover or losing trade to win the trade, if that makes sense. And it's much harder, I'm not gonna lie, to build a bot that can trade with stop loss. So a lot of people just don't build bots that can trade with stop loss because it's harder. It takes more accuracy in the EA, it takes a lot more finesse. So with this bot, it doesn't use, it's no recovery bot, it uses stop loss. So let's kind of talk about the stop loss. Basically, when it calls a buy or sell, for example, calls a sell, it's most likely going to put the stop loss like above a high or a low. So it might put a stop. If it caught the sell here, it might put like above this right here, actually. And if it called a buy right here, it probably would have put the stop loss below here. So what it does is it looks at the last low for the stop loss for buy, and looks at the last high for the stop loss for the sell, and then you can put pips above entry. So you might have it somewhere around here. Does that make sense, guys? As far as the stop loss? Now, the bot, well, another reason I like the bot is to great risk to reward. So what does that mean? You can have it, the bot do a set take profit where it goes with the same TP every time, or you can have it go for a risk to reward. So let me know in the chat box, like, what is y'all favorite risk reward? What is some of y'all like to do 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3? And for those who don't know what that means, for example, let's say this is our entry right here. For example, what you see here is our entry. And so let's say this is our entry. And we're doing the sell, obviously. This is our stop loss. It's our entry. So a 1-to-1 would be like this. I don't even know what pair this is. What the heck is this? I just thought about it. I'm just on some random pair I've never even seen before in my life. Let's look at another pair. Euro USD. Let's do something. Now I want to do Euro USD. Let's do GBP JPY. Okay, GBP JPY. There we go. So let's do something like that instead. I don't know what the heck we're looking at just now. So let's look at this instead. So we'll just do a buy this time. So this is where we're ending the trade at. So 1-to-1, let's say our stop loss is right here, right? So 1-to-1 would be this. So our stop loss is here. And so you can tell the bot to do is like, what do you want your risk reward to be? Do you want to be a 1-to-1? Maybe, so maybe if you're risking 40 pips, you're aiming for 40 pips. Do you want it to be a 1-to-2? Where you're risking 40 pips to go for 80 pips. And so the cool thing about the bot is you can choose whatever risk to reward you want. So you can do a 1-to-1, a 1-to-2. Hey, you can do 1-to-3, which is this about 3 right here, which is a lot harder to get. You would have lost that trade. But nah, yeah, you would have barely lost it. We wouldn't have lost it because we have extra features also. So what we talked about so far is we have the stop loss of high or low. We have the TP risk to reward ratio. We have another thing is it calculates that we have the equity lot. So it basically you can it looks at your stop loss, and it's going to and it looks at your balance and what you risk. So let's say you chose 1% risk, it's only going to risk 1% every trade. If you choose 2% risk, it's going to only risk 2% of trade. So you can choose what you want your risk to be. So it's kind of like trading like a real trader. That's kind of how I want to be the bot. Like, we're gonna have good days, bad days, but if you're just trading based off our rules, typically you're gonna be always in profit over time, right? So um let's say, for example, let's talk about the next feature. Let's say that we did a 1 to 2. We'll say 1 to 3. We'll say 1 to 3. So I'm gonna give you 2 scenarios. So I will tell you right now, like when I did 1 to 1, I really didn't have any like trade management. Of course, I'm still testing stuff. So I just had to either hit stop loss or take profit. That's all I did the whole time, right? I had the 1 to 3, and the 1 to 3, you definitely are going to want to do some type of trail management. If you got a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 or even higher, you want some type of management that's going to manage that when you trade, if that makes sense. So there we have 3 options. 3 ways it manages a trade. So one way is you can have it buy or sell. I mean, you can have it at a certain point. So let's say that on average, your 1 to 3 is, how many pips is this? We'll say 1 to 3 is about 120 pips. So we bring it up a little bit. So, and let's say that that you're going for 120 pips. And you say, you know what? So this is managed number 1. You can say, this is manager 1. You can tell the bot we'll say we're going for 120 pips. Let's say at 40 pips. At 40 pips, I want to move the stop to 20 pips, I guess, and follow the trade by 1. So what that means is this. Let's say this is a stop loss. We'll say this is the entry real quick. That's the entry. This is the stop. Let's see, let's look at the price tool. And let's say that this is about 40 pips right here. Cool. So the trade's going back and forth. And as soon as it hits this, it moves stop. It moves the stop 20 pips. With some 20 pips is about right here. This is where it's going to move the stop. And now when this goes up 1, this goes up 1. So it follows it till the market hits it. Does that make sense for that first try, the first way? How you can choose, when it triggers, you can choose how much it's going to follow it by, and where you want the place to stop at originally. Does that all make sense so far? Or did I lose anybody? Because I can do it again if I lost anybody. Everyone's good. Everyone understands. Cool. Now, that's one way. The second way, manager 2, we're gonna call it manager 2, is it moves stop based off of high and low. So it's kind of hard because like sometimes it can stop you out pretty fast, or it can help you run a trade up. So you can either have it predetermined, or you can have it move stop based off the highs and lows. So every time you push a new high, it's going to move the stop based off of that. So it's kind of, I've had it. I kind of like manager 1 better than manager 2, but I'm still testing it. But that's another way. And number 3 is 3 components. One with that manager 3 is break even percentage. Number 2 stop above break even. So we're gonna talk about all that in a minute. 3, partial profits at break even. So let's give a scenario. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do this time. We're gonna do 50%. We'll say 50%, and we're gonna say 10 pips or whatever. We'll say 30 pips, and we'll say 50%. Or we'll say, yeah, we'll say 25%, whatever. Just throwing it out there. So this is how this works with this. Let's go back to the scenario. You basically told the bot at 50% of the trade. So 50% means that whatever your take profit is, that's 50%. So 50% would be like, for example, if our TP was 120 pips, 50% would be around right here. That's 60 pips. So at 60, so we'll use this as an example. Since our TP is 120 pips, and we told this manager at please break even when trade becomes 50% in profit. So since our trade is 120, our TP is 60, our break even is 60, that's 60 pips. But if our TP was, for example, 68 pips, then our TP is at, our break even would be like half right there. Now, you don't have to do that far. You can do like, let's say you had 120 pips average, and you told break even to do 25%, then it would do 25% of the trade and put the trade at break even. Now, what will happen is this. Let's assume we're doing 50% just for the hell of it. And trade's going back and forth. It gets this far up. And now, wherever you put this break even at, it's going to be pips above that break even. So you can either have it go straight to break even, or you can have it go break even plus pips. So you can go like, let's say you did 10, let's say you did, we said 30, right? So 30 pips would be about right there. So that's our break even mark. So once 60 pips hit, our stop was moved 30 pips above the entry. And if we wanted to, we can close 25% of our trade. So now what's going to happen is it's either going to keep running towards 120 pips, or it's going to hit break our 30 pip stop right here from that break even. So does everyone understand how that works? Was that confusing? Cool. I felt like if I do it this way, instead of showing you settings, that it'll help you visualize how you want the bot to trade for you. So hopefully this is kind of a better way than me just showing you settings. And I will upload this in the Academy. Cool. Now, tell me which one did y'all like the best between these 3 managers? Like, do you like the manager 1, manager 2, manager 3? Like, which one do you think you probably try, or you're probably not gonna have, or would you even use these at all? Number 1 for you? Okay. 3? 1 or 3? Okay, cool. 1 and 3? Yeah, okay. I don't know if they work together, but so you can try. I don't know. That's a good question. So that's so I wanted to create a bot where people have their own experience. And so I figured this would be the best way. So, okay, that's the managing part. Okay, let's take this all the way. We got the managing, we got that. So another thing it does is it's called, yeah, it does well with US 30. Yeah. So another thing we have is something called the re-entry. So I'll give you an example of what that means. Let's say that we took this trade right here, this buy. If I say I followed the rules, we did this buy, and let's say we have re-entry on. So let's our stop right here, for example. Now, what re-entry does, if you keep this on, is every time, if you're in a current buy right here, every time yellow turns to green, it's going to re-enter. Oops. It's going to re-enter another trade, and it's going to look at the last low of that re-entry. So you're still going to have the last low, and that's it. And that's it. and it has to go yellow to green during the buy. Vice versa for a sell. For example, a sell, let's remove, let's do the sell, for example. So if we took the sell, it would re-enter right here because of this area right here. And that was it right there. So so you can get extra trades. And the cool thing about it is that when the first trade, this trade right here, hits TP, let's say this is TP. Let's say you have a long trade. Let's say it's TP. It's going to make sure all your other reentries go to break even. So your stop losses go to break even automatically once your original trade hits break even. Because there's no point of re-entering the trade and your original trade won and the other two lost. So does that make sense? Cool. I have the news filter, so it can filter our news if you like. What else does I have that I need to talk about? Let me see the settings. Yeah, it's available tomorrow. Let's see. Oh, and I wrote all the settings right here, so this is gonna be a great reference point. You can tell it when you don't want it to trade. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Max open trades. So max open trades just determines, how many trades you're going to allow open at once. Okay, so Ichimoku trend filter. That's the last thing we need to talk about. So let me turn this. Let me remove all these drawers real quick. So let's turn this on real quick. It's a lot, little lines. I don't like looking at, but we'll turn it on for now. Let me take this line off. I use the Ichimoku to determine the trend because I think it's pretty accurate. So let's just take all this stuff off. I don't need all this stuff to make a point. No, I can't even get back in there. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. So when the market's trending down, so this is how the bot works. It's usually Ichimoku cloud. And so when the cloud is trending down like this, it's only looking for sales. When the cloud is trending up, it's only looking for buys. But if the trend changes, there's a feature where if the trend changes, like let's say we're on a buy and we start seeing the trend change down, the bot will automatically close your trade that's in profit or your trade that's in or your trade that's losing. So you can avoid a stop loss faster just in case the trend change against you. But the other downfall is that it also will close your trade in profit, which could be a good thing technically if the trend was changing anyway. Now, I haven't used this feature enough to tell you my personal opinion. I will probably set something up early now just to find out, but that's just something that you have also. So let's kind of look into the indicator real quick. Does everything make sense though, right, y'all? So now just to go back into it, when you setting your stuff up, this is the first thing you're going to do. You're going to watch this video first, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time in front of the settings because you can just watch this 6-minute video. And if you want my settings, just simply scroll down. That's all the settings I have. And if you want to recoup on what we had talked about, click that video. I mean, this one. And I'm going to actually have this recording under this video also, or maybe over it actually. And it's going over, tips on how to use it, activation key. And you can set up multiple bots. And I'll have, for those who want to use the VPS instead of a cloud, I have training on how to do that too. Yeah, this is called. So this is what it's called. Use reentry. That's what it's called. Um, let's bring it up real quick, actually. So I'm gonna show you how the settings look. I guess I'll show you. So I'm gonna show you some stuff too, like the 1 minute. So I can just compare some stuff. Like I said, I'm still testing stuff too. So test on. Um, so this is the original trend. This is the original one I made before I made any updates. So I didn't even have a way to manage the trade. So this is pure just stop loss and take profit, nothing else. Because I wanted to see how well it can do on just random pairs without any managing of the trade. Like it's gonna either hit stop loss or take profit. I didn't want to manage the trade. I didn't want to have a trail because I wanted to see how accurate it was without the managing part. Just so I could have a good understanding on how well the entries were. So I have random trades. So far, they get pretty well. I think he just won a trade just now. And I think it's in some open trades. Oh yeah, see, like I was about to hit TP on this trade too. See how that works. But so far as like for it's doing pretty well. This was literally, guys, just a 1-to-1 risk ratio off the 15-minute chart. This is the settings I had recommended. So when you set your stuff up, this is what I have. But I didn't add any of the trade manager stuff to it. So any of you do my recommended settings, if you want, you can add some of the trade management stuff to it to see, how it will work, how well it will work. Because remember, I don't even have it going moving stop loss at all. It's just it hits take profit or stop loss, and it still cleared almost $1,200, $1,300, and that was after me putting on crazy pairs like DAS USD, which I don't know why I even tried that, but it's like whatever. And so you can try any pairs you want, guys. You can do. So I'm gonna show you. This is off a 15-minute chart, right? This is a 15-minute chart example. I'm gonna show you a 1-minute chart example, and then I'm just gonna show you the back end of the settings. So, wait, could y'all have seen that screen? I don't think I'll show y'all. Could y'all see the screen? I just thought about it. Oh yeah, y'all could see this. Y'all could see the screen. Yeah, that was for 1 week. That profit. Yeah, that was 1 week. So, and it stop loss. It lost trades and won trades, so far. So I'm going to show you the other one real quick. So this is another setup. I was just messing around with a 1-minute chart. So this is the 1 minute. And I forgot what things I had on here. It was I got like a couple of pairs. 1 minute. I got the stop loss super far. It's because I wanted to be able to just, and I have it the stop loss super far. You can do VPS or Skydesk. I'm going to add tonight, as soon as we got this webinar, how to add it to the VPS. I'm not going to do a full video, but I'll give you all the information you need for you, because I feel like anyone who knows how to use the VPS knows the basics of where to put each thing if I tell you where to. So I'll have like a written thing for you, what you should put in for the expert URL, which folder should everything go to, and I'll have the downloads for you. So I'll do that right after this webinar, so you can put in your VPS, or you can do Skydesk, whichever one you want. And you can test up to 5 different demos on 5 different MT4s. So that's something else you might want to test out different stuff. Have fun. This 1 minute one's pretty cool. It made $400 so far in like 5-6 days, and all it does is keep trading and scalping. It's basically scalping the entire time. It goes for like, I think I have it at. I'm gonna keep letting it ride before I share these, but I just kind of give you my thought process behind it. I said, okay, look, I have this set to a set TP to 100 pips, and I have a huge stop loss, but I have it still only risking 3% of a trade. So now I'm up 40%. No, I'm not up 40. I'm up some whatever I'm up. And so now if I think I'll have to do like 3 or 4 times for it to actually make me lose all my money, but I have it scalping. So it's going for 100 pips, but I think I trigger it at 7 pips and move stop loss to 3 pips or something like that. So that's why you see like sometimes I might get $17, $20, $32. It just depends, how much. So it went a lot. So that was the 1 minute. The 1 minute trades a lot. So the 1 minute, the lower the time frame, guys, the more you're gonna get trades. The higher the time frame, the way less trades. Like I think the 4 hour. Let me look at the 4 hour. I think this is the 4 hour. It's barely done any trades at all. It's currently in trades right now. So I'm just gonna keep it open just to see how I can do on the 4 hour. But it's barely done anything. I got way more pairs on the 4 hour too because well, obviously you know why, but so let me find an account where I can show you the settings. So look, it's called trend entry automation. You're gonna make sure the auto trader on, drag it on, you drag it onto a chart that you want. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into full details because I have a full video on this, which is 6 minutes long, but I'm just gonna show you how it looks real quick. So you got, here it goes, FX socials. You want to allow live trading. And so these are all the settings that we went through. So this is where you put your email for your actual account. Lot size, if you want it to be a certain fixed lot size, you do that. But this is how you do the auto lot, where it just calculates it by stop loss. This is where you put your percentage. So like 1%, 2%, 3% trade. Minimum equity. So this is how you protect your account. So if you have a $5,000 account and you're not willing to risk more than 2,500 of it, just put 2,500 in here. So by the time it hits 2,500, it's going to close all trades and stop trading for you. So you can never lose more than what you do. Yeah. So the email of your FX social account goes there. So when you sign up, that's your email is going to be activated. This is how you can choose your TP as risk to reward. But let's say you want to scout, or you just, whatever reason you don't want to do risk to reward, then you can turn this false. Oh, let me talk about this first. True. If it's true, this is where you put your risk to reward at. So it goes multiplied by your stop loss. So if you have 1.0, that's a 1 to 1 risk ratio. If you have 2, it's going to go for 60 pips with 30 pip stop loss. So this would be a 3 risk to reward if you do 3. So it's pretty obvious. Just it's basically multiplying your stop loss. So if your stop loss is 30 pips, 3 times 30 would be 90 pips, and that would be your take profit. So that's how you get that. You can do 5, whatever you want to do, right? So you want to do a 1-to-1, just do 1.0. If you don't want the risk reward, you can turn it off, and you can turn this true, and it's going to aim for whatever. So this says, if you put this at 15, it's going to aim for 15 pips. Use to high or low. This is going to move your stop, put your stop loss, like for example, put 15. It's going to be 15 below this entry candle, your entry candle. But the one I've been using is set candle. So if I do 5, for example, right here, it's going to look at the last 5 candles and look for the low and put 15 pips between me and that low. So this is kind of like your set stop loss, but it's going to equate also the last 5 candlesticks plus the low. That's probably why I win so often, because I have so many factors in the stop loss to avoid it getting hit. This is the trailing I talked about. So like, for example, we set this to true, and we say, okay, at 30 pips, move my stop loss to 10 pips and follow it by 1. So that's the steps, that's the distance, and that's the trigger. So we got triggered at 30 pips and move my stop loss 10 pips in profit, and it's going to follow by 1. But if you don't want this, you can set this to false. You can set this to true, and it will go off your high and low. Or you can set this to false. You can set this to true, and this is when you'll break even. So this is percentages, guys. So it's not 50 pips, it's percentages. So if you had 25%, it's going to move your stop loss to break even based off of 25% in profit. You do 50, 50% profit. 75, 75% in profit. Does that make sense? So y'all understand, like that every time it's going to go based off of where your TP is, and that's when it's going to move your stop loss to break even. So if you do 50, when your trade's 50% in profit, or let's say 25% in profit, move stop loss to break even. Now this is how many pips you want above break even. So that maybe you want 5 pips, 10 pips above break even, then now at 25% of the trade, move stop 10 pips above break even. If you turn this on and set this as true, it will close partial profits. So this is based off of, like, if you choose 50%, that means that if you had $100 in profit, when this triggers your break even, it's going to close 50% of that trade and 50% of that lot size. And then the rest is just going to go towards take profit. So everyone can try that out. It's kind of up to them how they want to use that. Stop loss range is basically if you want to avoid a certain stop loss. So let's say that you do 50. Any trades with anything over 50 pips and stop loss, it will not trade. If you do that, if you keep it 0, it's going to trade any stop loss. News, if you set this to true, 1 hour before red news, it's going to not take any trades on that pair. 1 hour after, it's going to do it again. And if you have open trades, 20 minutes before news starts, it's going to close all those trades. If you choose 0, it's not going to do it. So it goes off minutes right here. Pretty self-explanatory. This is what days. This is the sessions. So if you don't want a certain session, you can just, all I did is like, okay, if I don't want this session, Asia session, I'll just put like, I'll just copy one of these. So I might put 10 and 18. That way it's going to just trade London and New York. So it's kind of up to you. Max open trades. So let's say you have a lot of pairs, but you only want a certain amount of pairs. So let's say you got 20 pairs, but you only want 4 open shares at one time. Then it's only gonna, if you have more than, if you have 4 trades open, it's not gonna open up a 5th one until that other one closes. Trend, Ichimoku trend, that's how we talked about the Ichimoku trend. If you wanted to close trades when the trend changes on the Ichimoku, set this to true. If you don't want to close any trades early, set that to false. I'm not saying I talked about this, but this is your risk percentage. So you want to risk 1%, that's 1%, 2%, 2%, 3%, 3%. You want to invest in 1%, 0.50. And so that'd be half of 1% and so forth. So does anyone have any questions? I think I pretty much went over everything. Like I said, when you watch the video, you can watch that 6-minute video on how to set it up, but this is more like a super in-depth on what everything is. And I want you to have an understanding on my thought process behind making the bot, because it can give you an understanding of how you want to do your settings. And so remember, guys, I want you guys to, and I appreciate it, bro. You know, I want you guys to, I want you guys to make sure like you join this, and you talk in the community, share what kind of results that you got and what kind of stuff that you're going to try, and connect with everybody. And you can do this under TE automation. So people are going to be talking so far. You know, talk to Michael. You know, let him know, hey, cool. Let me know how it goes. So, because I want to create this community, guys, where we're all making money, we're all enjoying each other's company, and we can be in a safe place where no one's going to be judging us, and we can have fun. You know, and I say I'm going to keep making the company better, partnering with more people. I'm always about growth. I'm always about making the company better. So, yeah. So, anyone have any questions for me? Nope, guess not. Cool. Stop share. Cool. So make sure you join that community. Y'all can talk via there. Let's share some stuff. I'm gonna. This can just be on. Yeah, I mean, I have to make the MT5 version this month. I'm not this month, this week. So I'm gonna have an MT5 version of this and an MT4 version of this. Well, I already had an MT4 version, obviously. So you can use this on any talent agency. You can use it on mine. You can use it on FX, because it follows all the rules of all of them. So now I just gotta. I would still watch it because it's still AI, but I would do like a half of 1%. I wouldn't do a full 1% and just let it run on there. But I was, of course, demo first, because remember, a challenge is always just trading. It does everything a trade is supposed to do. It does the risk reward. It gives you a stop loss. It does equity, lot sizes. It can move your stop loss to break even. It does everything as a real trader should do to begin with, right? So, of course, it can trade a funded challenge. You just got to find the settings that work best for you for that challenge. And, you know, if you do find it, you probably don't want to share it with nobody. I'm just talking junk, probably. But hopefully, y'all enjoyed the session, guys. Hope y'all learned some stuff. I'm going to upload this. Cool, man. Enjoy your night, too. I'm going to upload this. And I will do this right now and the VPS stuff for you guys. And we'll go from there. Y'all have a blessed night. Oh wait, someone said, is there a way to update the settings, or do they have to be re-entered? Is there a way to update settings, or do they have to be re-entered? You can always just right click over the chart and edit the stuff. You don't have to redo everything. But if you don't have the newest bot, then you know, but you don't have to redo everything if you already have the current bot. You can just change the settings. You don't have to do the other stuff. But cool, guys. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll see y'all guys later.